Tango 21, Mr. Chippie, are you out there?
Tango 21 in position at the quarry.
Okay, we're recording and off you go. So we're testing the Humbrol CB7 50 milliwatt walkie-talkie. That's one of these toy things, and it's supposed to do 500 yards. Well, he is a mile and a quarter away. Tango 21 calling Mr. Chippie. Tango 21 calling Mr. Chippie. Are you receiving? Over. Mr. Chippie, I am reading you. I can't tell quite what you're saying, but you are really quite readable for a mile and a quarter away. So if you'd like to move to the next test position at Chippie, what's it, over? Wow, I wasn't expecting that from a mile and a quarter away. These are probably just as muffled as those others. They were when we were just testing them to the base station.
Right, I'm receiving you, Richard, but very low volume on the set. You know, it wasn't a bad signal, it's just very low volume.
Yeah, when it's a low signal, it's low volume. I think it's super regenerative. And it's actually out of its receiving range. We're a mile and a quarter away. The box says 500 yards. So I'm astonished that I'm actually receiving one there for the 25 milliwatts or so. So yeah, it's not faulty, it's not mistuned or anything, but the receiver is something like 10 microvolts.
Alright, fair enough. In that case, actually, it didn't do bad.
No, mile and a quarter when it's not supposed to. So is it Chippie, what's its next?
Yeah, well, it's the Lincolnshire County Council depot. I'll just pull into the front of the driveway there and try from there. It's easier than going round the corner into Ancaster and having to turn round again. Yeah,
so I estimate that'll be about between 3/4 and 1 mile. So yeah, that's fine.
Roger.
Yeah, Sierra Hotel 1 Tango receive on these. I heard Mr. Chippie, are you receiving? The answer is yes, over. I didn't say I could hold a conversation with you, however. So if you move on to the petrol station, it's like one word in 3. If it was an emergency at sea, I'm sure we'd get our message across, but it isn't good. Right, so that's fine, thank you. Just not good enough to be able to resolve what he's saying.
Yeah, I'm actually in the garage now.
Oh, that was quick. Right. So now he's 3/4 of a mile away, so he's just come that little bit. No, I'd say a third of. He's about half a mile away, to be honest, just over that. Tango 21 calling Mr. Chippie. Tango 21 calling Mr. Chippie. Are you receiving, over? Yes, I've got you there saying you're receiving me loud and clear. And has the volume come up now you've come closer, over? Okay, so if you'd like to move to the next test point, which is at the top of the lane, over. Okay, so not brilliant, but I can still hear, I can actually tell what he's saying now. If you actually put headphones on, you would be able to hear what he's got to say. Now these are 500 yard range, and it doesn't say between a pair, does it? So it might well mean to a base station like we're doing it.
Tango 21, Mr. Chippie in position, top of the lane.
Roger, got you in position at the top of the lane. Now, will we have to ask him to come closer so we can hear how awful it is properly? Tango 21 calling Mr. Chippie. Tango 21 calling Mr. Chippie. Are you receiving over? Okay, I've got you saying it's receiving loud and clear. Can you just talk a bit louder into the speaker on that so we can just hear it a bit better over? Yeah, then it sounds more distorted. Right, come down to the concrete 100 yards away so we can actually hear how dreadful it is. But that is, you know, considering it says 500 yards range, it's doing more than it said over. It's not quite as distorted as the other one either.
Right, I'm in position at the concrete hardstone.
Roger, okay then. Tango 21 calling Mr. Chippie. Tango 21 calling Mr. Chippie.
Yeah, you're still not giving me time to get out of the car and actually set up.
Yeah, well, I actually heard you say all that, so that's great. I'll tell you what we didn't do, and we could have done this from 1.25 miles away, and that's press that code key on it, which would definitely extend the range. You'd probably get 1.5 miles if you used the code key over. I think you press the transmit bar and then you press the code key as you need to over.
Oh right, so it's not on its own.
There you go. Yeah, so I think you using the code you could probably do 1.5 miles. So it certainly exceeds what the box says. But if that was between a pair, because they're as deaf as a post, I doubt it over.
Yep, no problem. Well, I think that concludes this
It does indeed. Right, well thanks very much, and that's Sierra Hotel 1 Tango Radio, the Humbrol CB7. Well, so it's got a vastly inferior receiver to the Duette, which we did, which is also the D'Amico, also the Chiser. But it transmits better. Now, although this is only doing 25 to 50 milliwatts, the other was doing 80 milliwatts, this is definitely transmitting further. So yeah, it was readable from 7/8 of a mile away. We knew it was there from 1.25 miles, and if he'd have used the code key, if I'd have thought about that, he would have been able to communicate perfectly in code from that 1.25 mile point, and probably even further away. So there you are. So Humbrol CB7, and I said on the previous video, there's one for sale right now as a pair of them in a box on eBay for £49.99 from a chap in Leeds. But we've serviced ours. Right, we'll probably get back to some normal radios tomorrow. We've got a pile of new sets to do as well, but customer repairs keep coming in. So thank you for watching Sierra Hotel 1 Tango Sunday, and that was the Humbrol CB7.